Nico, I know you've been kind of banged up at times this season. How's the foot progressing, and how healthy are you at this stage in the game?
I'm feeling at 100%. Due to the injury, just getting back to the groove of things. But yeah, other than that, just being on the field, having fun with the guys, making plays. Happy to be back.
Vince and then Ben.
Last time you talked to us, you mentioned that you had to get your focus right to get back into the lineup and contribute productively. Where are you from that standpoint?
I think I'm back where I was before the injury. Just going throughout, my preparation stage. Watching tape, looking for different things the offense do, and just going out through my, DB technique. Just doing extra work when I need to get it done.
Ben.
Doneiko, what did you see from Elijah Simmons on Saturday? It seemed like he was playing with more of an edge to him, I guess you could say, than we typically see from him. Did you see that as well, and what do you think allowed him to be successful?
Yeah, Big E this past weekend versus UConn, I felt him out there a lot, I expect that from him a lot in every game, but, just being out there, because he wasn't here in the beginning of the season. So, yeah, I think everyone, felt his presence when he was out there.
John.
When you have a chance in the fourth quarter, despite the score, to keep a team out of the end zone, how much motivation is that for you guys, despite it being lopsided there towards the end of the game?
Say it again?
Just to have an opportunity to keep a team out of the end zone for an entire game, how does that keep your motivation up in the fourth quarter, even though it's a lopsided game?
Yeah, it was great to hold them to 0, touchdowns, especially from the younger guys, holding that expectation and that standard that we set. It shows big for what we have coming up next.
Well, Caleb and then Patrick.
Doneiko, obviously 3 defensive touchdowns on Saturday. What was the atmosphere like in the locker room after, just kind of the message after a performance like that?
Great job that we executed. We had fun in the locker room, but I think that was really the expectation we came into the game. Just to get that taste out of our mouth from the Kentucky game. But in the locker room, we have a big game coming up this weekend, so it was right next to, we got to get ready for the next game coming up. That's Missouri.
Patrick.
Doneiko looked like Ricky Gibson got plenty of playing time on Saturday. I think he had some good plays, some good coverage. How have you kind of seen him grow throughout the course of the season, and what are you kind of looking for the next step for him?
I think with Ricky, he's been playing very good. I've been seeing that since fall camp. He's been a smart kid, but just getting his reps in a more comfortable moment for him, so he can build that confidence of knowing that he has the ability to make those plays and make even bigger plays to come. But yeah, he's been playing his part big time as a freshman as well.
Eric.
2 big sixes, and both coming from pressure from the guys up front. When they're going with the pressure on the quarterback, how much easier does that make your job?
Make it 10 times easier. When the guys get in there, putting the pressure on the QB, getting them to the ground, hurting them for real. You just want to get that ball out quickly, so we can really just play eyes, like zone coverage a lot more, and just be ball hawks.
John.
Every game is chippy, but were you at all surprised with how much bad blood there was on Saturday?
Yeah, I was actually surprised because UConn, just talking so much trash, but come talking trash, when you punch in the mouth and you gonna answer as well. So you want to keep a respectful game at the end of the day, but if you want to take it to that type of game, it can be that game.
We'll do a few more. We'll do Ben, Vince, and then Patrick or Wes to finish it off.
Doneiko, what are you seeing from Luther Burden on film, and just how difficult of a challenge does he possess, and some of those other receivers like Weiss? Just how difficult of a challenge are those skill position players for Missouri?
I think they have very good skilled players, but they haven't seen us yet. We haven't been on the field. They haven't saw what we have as well. So down to Saturday, that's when we're going to see who's the best athlete.
Vince.
I want to ask you about another young guy, Jordan Thomas, got plenty of snaps in the game. Where have you seen his game progress?
Can you say it again?
Jordan Thomas, where have you seen his game progress?
His game progressions, same, you know, just having that confidence on the field, just taking a chance of his opportunities. You know, he hasn't got a lot of opportunities to show what he has, but he's very intelligent as well, you know, playing safety and star. You know, that's nothing easy, you know, because he has a lot more things to look at, things to read. But yeah, he's a physical guy, and you can see that on the tape as well. But yeah, he's coming along.
Wes, last question.
Doneiko, obviously, you know, last season y'all were in that national title mix right until the last last week of the year there, and then you wanted to be in that position again this season, got a couple early losses. What allowed a team in a position like that to kind of keep fighting and keep plugging away? Because maybe other teams would have backed off a little bit at that point, but it seemed like y'all have kept working and gotten better.
What keeps us going is, you know, we want to make history. You know? We want to have our names put on that board for winning the national championship in Tennessee. You know, you want to go down in history. You want to be great. You know, you want to put your brother on the map as well. So we're doing it just for more than ourselves. So I think that just goes to show, you know, it's a standard. You know, Coach Hype and that team set, and that's what we want to focus on, getting to Atlanta and playing for the national championship.
Thanks, Doneiko.
As of all, what did that mean for you to see him in that moment and, you know, being on the other end of that?
I mean, just for him to go out there and kill it the way he did was awesome to see. Especially, I practice, get most of my reps with him every day, so it kind of just felt second nature. And you know, he was spinning the ball out there, and for me to catch it was a big deal. I kept the gloves. I have them signed today, so those will probably be hanging up in my house after his career here. So pretty cool.
Ben and then Vince.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about Nico as well in that moment. Why do you think the offense all came over and kind of mobbed him afterwards after he threw that first touchdown?
Just because you see all the work he puts, and he's never complained about not being able to get into games. When there's a couple games we should have taken care of business and he would have got drives in, and he's never complained about that. He just shows up and does the work, and he's always super humble about it. So to see him have success, everybody understands like the work he's put into it.
Vince?
Couple things to ask him separately. Do you and Nico have any sort of nickname on your connections, like Cali to Cali or anything like that developed yet?
Just California boys. We talk about it all the time, and you know that's my guy. So it's, for him to throw it to me was pretty cool.
Give me a breakdown of your dance celebration.
It's a reference back to an old song from the 2000s. I won't name drop the song, but the artist is his name is Down, aka Kilo, and that's the dance that I did.
Eric, and then Adam.
Kind of break down your play, the touchdown, you know, reception you just had. Of course, a little play action on the front, then kind of what brought you into the end zone. Kind of walk us through that play.
Just play action, frontside insert, and you know Nico gave him the little dip and brought that linebacker forward, and then he just ripped one right behind the ref, and I was already kind of naked, and then not a very good tackle by the safety coming over, bounced me into the end zone.
Adam?
You've seen Nico in practice all year and now seeing him in games. He may be the starter next year. I know you'll be gone, but that's what he's working toward. Do you see the progress that he's made so far this year as an indication he could be ready next year?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you just see he's a lot of throws early on when he was a freshman. You could tell he kind of got a little amped up, and he'd throw some, and I'd be like, I'm too old to be jumping that high for those balls. But he's kind of brought it down, and you could just tell the way he operated in the game. He was calm, cool, collected. Even when he got flushed out of the pocket, he's still operating, which is crazy to see at that young of an age.
And secondly, we see Coach Heupel. He's very laid back, super friendly guy. But is there is he more competitive on game day? Is there an edge behind the scenes in games that we don't see?
Yeah, I think he can flip the switch on, and you know it's. Every time we go out on the field, our goal is to be the best team on the field. And, you know, if you don't have that edge and you kind of take stuff lightly, then you can be in close games with games you shouldn't be close in. So he kind of gets everybody fired up, ready to go right before the game starts.
Sam?
For you guys on offense, how fun was it just to watch the defense, find the end zone 3 times?
Oh my goodness. We were sitting there getting ready to go, and then they just kept scoring, and I was like, I don't know if we're going to go in the rest of the game. It was insane. I've never seen anything like that.
We'll go to Ryan, and then we'll go to John.
Young guy, Ethan Davis, made some plays at the end of the game. How would you say how he played?
I think he played great. He went in there. Obviously, he's still got stuff to work on, but you can tell that he's been making strides, especially in the run game. Stuff that in the spring he didn't know how to do. He's gotten a lot better at it, and as he gains weight and gets stronger, he's going to be even more. But he, in the pass game, I already expect that from him because he's just so talented with the ball in his hand.
You've alluded to it a few times, what this opportunity to play SEC football means to you. You've now got a career high in FBS touchdowns in your career. Just what is this whole experience? I know you got a few games left here, but just what is this experience? It has to have exceeded your expectations so far.
I mean, I took a leap of faith coming here. I didn't know if I was going to get to play or not, and to come in and just be a part of the offense the way I am is amazing. So I've just taken every opportunity I got and made the most out of it. And obviously I've produced even more than I thought I could have in the spring, and I've taken just bounds as a football player, and that's like testament to the support staff we have as strength coaches and like the coaching that I've gotten from Abe. So
We're right here in the middle.
And to follow up on that, coming here and improving yourself as a football player, does it change your thoughts of what happens after this season? And did you come to the SEC maybe thinking, I've got a chance to maybe improve myself and put myself into the mix for an NFL future?
yeah, I think that's the whole thing, was I came here to kind of prove to myself that I belong in that next level of football. And I think as I've gotten better, and I'm going to continue to get better throughout the rest of the season, it's kind of felt like I definitely can belong in that space, and if I keep making my strides, I'll end up hopefully playing a long time after this.
We'll do two more. We'll do Eric and then finish with Vince.
You and Jacob have caught several touchdown passes already this season, but you had a nice block on Dylan Sampson's touchdown run at Kentucky. Jacob had a nice block on Jalen Wright's touchdown run on the first series of the game. How much pride do you guys as a group take in run blocking?
I think that's the big step. If you look at the film from last year, this year that we've taken, is like we've drilled a lot more of the run blocking, just the technique and the basics. And our coach was a O-line guy, so he really hammers it home. And that's kind of the thing, is like you don't want to be the one that misses a block and leads like a touchdown run to being only an 8-yard gain. So priding ourselves on just finishing guys at the end of the runs and being the ones that create space for the running backs to do their thing.
Vince, we'll finish with you.
Two quick things. As Joe has played so well, and then the receivers seem to be getting more comfortable, are you seeing the offense evolve in terms of expanded play calling and things you guys can do in our calls, like with the coaches getting more comfortable with the players? Are you seeing the offense evolve from that standpoint as well?
Yeah, I think we're running kind of the stuff that we've already been running, but at a higher level, and dudes are making better decisions, and we're just operating at the tempo that we want to be. And I think that's why we're catching people off guard, is we're starting to move towards that faster tempo that we kind of want.
And what do you know about Missouri's defense?
They're solid, they're talented up front. They got 2 guys in the interior that can switch with each other and play really well. Their linebackers are sneaky athletic and really good cover guys. And I mean, they're a good team this year, so it's going to be a dogfight and it's going to be a physical game.
Thanks, Callie. Thanks, everybody.